Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and today I wanted to do a flip through of my big chunky accordion folio that I made to work through the Currency of Grace devotional from ByTheWell4God. This was an amazing devotional written by Tom, and I just wanted to kind of flip through and show you what I did because this is me kind of working in a different way throughout this past month. So first off, I do have a video as well kind of showing how I set this accordion folio up. You can pick up the basic accordion folio at Joann's or that's where I got mine. But I know you can get it at like scrapbook.com, etc. So I will put links down below. Those will be affiliate links. Unfortunately, the Currency of Grace is sold out, so you can no longer pick it up right now. Although keep checking because ByTheWell4God may bring it back in the future. So just be on the lookout for that. This was a beautiful kit that had a lot of fun colors, bright colors in it. And so you'll see how I kind of work through that in this accordion folio, how I use my love for vintage stuff, but kind of fold that into this bright coloredness of the kit. So anyways, first off, I have this little clip up here that was just tied some frilly little ribbon or yarn to. And that just holds it because I made it super chunky like I normally do. And so that was just holding it closed a little bit better. But yeah, I guess I didn't need it either. But okay, so first off, this is what the accordion folio looks like when you first open it up. I did a lot of texture paste on the sides. I loved that doily stencil, so that was something that was really fun for me to work through. So I guess we'll kind of start left to right. First off, I have a bunch of stuff in this little pocket. Now, if you get the accordion folio, it just comes where it's not a pocket yet. You have to either stitch it down or glue it down. But that's what I decided to do with this. You didn't even necessarily need to make a pocket. You could just do a flip out. There's so many different ways to do this accordion folio. It's just really fun to actually look at how everyone uses it and does different things with it. Really cool. So make sure if you're interested in an accordion folio to like check out other videos and see how other people do it. So anyways, back to this. I did this fun little cluster right here with one of the ByTheWell4God receipts. And so I added this little girl that was a Tim Holtz one and then cut out some of the flashcard for that verse. And just really liked adding this bird. This bird was to cover up a little bit more of the black that was in this photo. It just seemed too dark for this kit. And so adding that little bird like made all the difference in this. I have a little bit of stitched fabric that was part of a bow clip that I decided to take apart. And I left all my strings hanging because the more texture, the better in these accordion folios, I think. And just in general, my Bible journaling, I love that. So I have one of the verse cards tucked in here. Now, for the verse cards, sometimes the backside didn't necessarily match my color theme. Oops, my little paperclip fell off. And so I doubled them back to back to match what I wanted it to look like. And then I also rounded corners, added a little bit distressing, and then added some lace and fabric. Same fabric, actually, that's right here. Those bow clips are really fun to deconstruct, and you know, they last throughout the kit. I usually use them and just cut them apart in half. So it's a great way to add just a little bit of something to make it a little bit different. So I tuck that in right here so that the fabric can be seen sticking out. And then I have this file folder with this cute little felt ball paperclip. This is from Gail at Patio Ponderings. And then in here, I have one of the little Monopoly money things just for fun. And then I also have a verse, Romans 6:15 through 16, on one of these God's receipt of purchase journaling cards. I really loved these this month. And with this verse, I ended up using my brand new Ferris wheel press Malibu blush. So this is the color that is coming out on June 2nd. They let me get a sneak peek and get to try it out a little bit. So that is Malibu blush, and it also has a matching pen this month. So this is a carousel fountain pen. This is in the nib fine. They're really fun to write with. This is a lighter color, so it was a little bit harder to see on a colored background, but I absolutely love the color on some white cardstock. I'm sure I'll be doing a swatch of that soon. So that is the new Ferris wheel press color coming out June 2nd. So I'll put that back together and tuck it in back here. And you really can get a lot of stuff in here. I definitely could have added some more, but let's move on to the middle section. So in this middle section, I did use some of that vintage paper, background paper from Tim Holtz. So I covered up the centers and also used this ledger paper that was a backdrop paper and added a little bit of the ephemera from the kit. This bird, I loved birds in this kit. So I have 3 birds on each one of these little panels. I thought that was fun. And then I propped up one of the florals on top of it, so it looked like it was kind of hiding behind that floral with this lace die cut. This is also a Tim Holtz die. I'm forgetting what I think it's called crochet, but it's one of my favorite dies from him. So as you flip this down, I also have one of the journaling cards from ByTheWell4God. It almost fit perfectly, but I just did trim it down a little bit to fit into this section. Now, if you see my other video where I talk through how I'm putting this together, you'll see a little bit more of these pockets because right now it doesn't look how it used to. This used to be like that manila colored pockets. It's actually just an accordion, and I made them into pockets myself by just gluing down edges together. So if you don't glue them down, you have a big accordion piece of paper that kind of folds out. But I decided to color mine in an ombre effect. So the first one, it just has this journaling card on it. Again, I trimmed it down just a little bit so I could fit on this card, rounded the corners, made a little bit of distressing, and added this fun fabric with a little bit of lace as well. And then I have a pocket with a couple of these flashcards. So I have Justified with Romans 5:1 and also Merciful with Hebrews 8:12. In this, I just folded down the corner. I used to do this a lot, and I think I'm going to start doing it again. I really like the look of it. Added a little bit of pattern paper. This was actually the backer for the barcode for this card set. And I just folded it down and stapled it using my tiny attacher. So those kind of just fit into this pocket right here. There we go. And then this one, I also put down the sheep flashcard with Luke 15:4, and then added a little floral with another journaling card. I wanted to make sure that when these weren't in there, it kind of had this fun layered look. So that's why I propped it up a little bit higher on this page. It's a little hard to put these in except looking at the back side. And then this pocket, so there's a pocket in between here since I glued those down. That has the Astray flashcard. I did use this plaid paper. You'll see how I used it in this tag right here. But this is like a messy plaid die cut that I use Lindy's Magicals on. I did that in a reel on Instagram if you want to check that out. I also created this fun little quilted pattern, which I also did in a reel. This would be really cool to make as a base and do even more stuff on, but I just loved the look of all this pattern paper put together like this. So you just cut little strips of the paper and then make different triangles it's really simple, way more simple than it looks like that, like right here. It probably took me maybe 15 minutes, so it's not that much work. And then I just backed it with this Grace little receipt as well. I liked that, so I wanted to include that on something in here. And then we'll just tuck those back into this pocket. And then on this page, I cut down a journaling card into that circle. It was already kind of seen as a circle, so I just cut around it and distressed it. Added a little floral ephemera to tuck in and around that. I loved this telephone booth, so I had to add that somewhere. And I used some of those alphabet stickers as well from the kit to spell out Grace. You could have used your outliner stamp, but I decided to just use my pen. And this is probably the first time in forever that I have not like wiggled my hand and written off the little outline. So this was definitely a win for me. Another thing I did on Instagram Reels, there's a lot of Reels this month, was this tag. So this is from, the background's all basically Lindy's Magicals, as you can see right here. I used a couple different colors. Fed this afterwards through my typewriter. It says, Grace is fundamental to our faith and is central to the message of the gospel. It is the unmerited favor of God, freely given to humanity for those who identify with the sacrifice of Christ. And that was from Tom. And then afterwards, I used that background stamp on top of it with, what purple was it? I forget what purple it was from the Distress Oxide, but it made a fun little background, mixed media look. And then I used some Neo Color 2s to make some little marks on there. Added Grace because that's what we're talking about this month and what I was talking about on the back side with my Dymo label maker. This is just some mummy cloth from Tim Holtz that I dyed with some more purple Distress Oxide, and then obviously a floral ephemera because I had to add that. This was from, I believe, the Verse card set, I believe, last month. They had some fun fabrics, and they had a cluster of fabrics already ringed or put on a ring, and so I used that, undid it from the ring, and just stapled it onto this tag because I knew it was a bit chunky, so a staple works better than threading it through this little hole. I did thread it through the hole, but it started ripping the paper because there's so much, so that staple just keeps it there nicely, and that's kind of just pokes out. I like how it kind of pokes out from the top of everything. And then that's kind of the center section. Like I said, I decided to make it into 3 pockets. However, you could have a whole lot more if you don't make it into pockets themselves. Sorry about that. My 4-year-old forgot I was recording and needed help with something. It's just what happens in this house sometimes. But anyways, back to our third little section of this book. I did create this little slide with some Duralar film, or you could use acetate, and the clear stickers from ByTheWell4God. Let me show it to you like this, maybe. So I just cut those out and pasted them onto, not pasted them, they're already stickers, but I stuck them down to the Duralar film, and then just used that with this slide die. This is, I believe it's from Specimen Die from Tim Holtz. It's one of my favorites. Before I folded it and everything, I did send it through my typewriter and added Luke 15:4 to it, and added a little bow with some embroidery floss, so that was fun. So that is just kind of sits here. I like how you can see the texture paste through everything, but it doesn't, hinder the fact that there's a bird there as well. So I like the layered look of that right there. So anyways, this little pocket, again, you don't have to make it a pocket, but I decided to, it just kind of folds out normally. You can put a lot of stuff in here. I really loved this girl. There was just something about her that I loved more than any of the other girls. So I decided that she could kind of poke out right here. I also had this flashcard Judge, my Matthew 7:1-5, and I added the other backer of the barcode from the flashcards on this side. I just liked having something a little different, and that will slide right under her. I like her peeking out. There we go. And then we have another money little card. I liked the pink color with everything I had going on here. One of those grace receipts that was just included. I believe it might have been in the bonus bag of the extra fun goodies that Tom and Lori send us. And then last thing I have is another one of these receipts that were the journaling cards. And I added Corinthians 1:4 on the front of that with my typewriter, and just added a sweet little flower cluster behind or on top of that. So that is it. That's kind of my slower walkthrough of this accordion folio. I did do a quick little flip through on Instagram Reels, which was really fun as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. This was really fun for me to work on. I definitely think I will do another one in the future sometime. I'm not exactly sure when, but it was a fun project for me to do. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me any comments or questions down below, and I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.